Okay, so multi-step angle questions. Now, before you can work out the missing angle at the top, it's usually really helpful to find as many other angles as possible and then see if you can stumble across x at the end. So let's work on what we know. We can see a straight line here, and we know straight lines from previous videos add up to 180 on that straight line. So we need to work out the missing angle. In order to do that, a quick bit of inverse operation, 180 minus 123 gives you a missing angle of 57. Now, as soon as you work out an angle, it's helpful to pop that onto the diagram. So we've got that angle there is 57 degrees. Now, again, from previous videos, this is an isosceles triangle. So we know the base angles are the same as each other. Therefore, that angle there is also 57 degrees. If we now just focus on the triangle, we've got 57 there and 57 there, so both base angles, and we are looking for that x angle, which we can now find. We've got 57 plus 57 so far, giving us a total of 114 degrees from that triangle. To work out the missing angle, we need to do 180 minus that 114. And doing that should get you 66 degrees. So x is 66. So that's that first question. If we now have a look at E, we've got a key piece of information at the top, giving us 318 degrees. We can then use angles on a full turn, so if you zoom in on that, that is 318. Angles around a point should make 360. So if you tap that on your calculator, 360 minus 318, that's going to give you 42 degrees. So that's that angle there, 42. Now, we can then use that piece of information. So I'm just going to draw it down the bottom here. We've got that piece of information from the top now. We know that angle's 42. At the top, we can see it was isosceles again. So we've got isosceles and we're looking for that angle x. So we've got 180 in the triangle. Take off the 42 that we've just worked out, and that is going to give us 138 degrees left. We then need to do that 138, halve it because two angles make that, so a half of 138 is going to give you 69 degrees. Okay, so obviously you could do more multi-step problems. I'm going to leave it there with the triangles. I've got them run out of space, and have a quick look at the quadrilaterals. So we know firstly from previous videos, quadrilaterals always total 360 degrees for the interior angles. And again, we just need to try and find as many angles as we can leading up to it before we can work out the final piece of information. So we know this is the quadrilateral, and this adds up to 360. But we haven't got enough information because we've only got two of the angles. So working some information out, we've got a straight line at the top there, and on that straight line we know should make 180, and we only know 80 degrees of it. So that one's nice and simple, 180 in the straight line, take off the 80, that top angle there must be worth 100 degrees because that's what's left over. Now we know that. We know three angles in that quadrilateral. We know this one's 141, this one's the 100, and that one's 52. We can then work out this missing angle there, even though that's not the one we're quite looking for. So if you add those up on the calculator, 141 plus 52 plus 100, let's put them top. That is going to give you 293 degrees. Like I say, we know that adds up to 360, so we need to do 360 minus that 293. And let's just move that. If you do that on the calculator, that's going to give you 67 degrees left over. Now, that isn't your final answer because that is only giving you the 67 there. So if you go back to the top picture, that's 67 degrees there. We actually wanted the x, which is on the exterior of that line. So So if we sketch that below, we've just worked out that that angle there was worth 67 degrees, and we know angles on a straight line add up to 180, so 180 degrees minus that 67 is going to give us a missing angle of 113 degrees. Okay, so not got much space again, but if I just move it to the side and we'll focus on that top right one and have a look at that one. So as a rough sketch, you've got a quadrilateral and you know an angle on the straight line is 132. So here we've got a straight line and we can work out that missing angle there. So 132 already, if we subtract that from 180, it'll tell us what that missing angle is there. So 180 minus 32 is going to give us 48 degrees. Remember, you can do that on your calculator. So we've got 48 degrees there. So I can put that there, 48 degrees, or on the other diagram over there, 48. We then have a lot of information on that diagram now. So if I just take away the straight line from it, I know that's 48. I know this angle already is 145. That's the angle I'm looking for, but I've got that symbol again, which we saw previously, is 90 degrees. I've got all the information I need to work the missing angle out. So I've got 48 plus the 145 plus the 90, and you can technically put plus the missing angle. X is supposed to add up to the total of 360 for the quadrilateral. If you add those up on the calculator, 48 plus 145 plus 90 gives you a grand total of 283, and we know that plus x is supposed to be 360, so inverse operation, 360 minus that 283 is going to give us 77 degrees, and that's your final answer.